real quick. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. So I want to start off with basically explaining what is a LinkedIn profile. So how I like to kind of easily explain it is LinkedIn is basically almost like a professional version of Facebook or any type of social media platform that you have. Except for up here, you use LinkedIn to kind of help you find the right job or internship, or just to connect or strengthen your professional relationships and learn skills that you need to succeed in the industry that you may be in. A completed LinkedIn profile can help you connect with opportunities, showcasing your unique skills and your professional unique story as well through the experiences that you may have had and also your education. LinkedIn is free, but they do have a version called LinkedIn Premium that has some additional features where you could either take some trainings or online classes or listen to seminars, as well as learn who or you can actually see who is searching your profile or looking at your profile, which could be helpful for you because, again, if it's a recruiter or anything like that, then of course, you'll be able to may be interested in reaching out to you soon or something like that for a potential opportunity. So here are a few quick stats for LinkedIn. There are 830 million users across the world who have a LinkedIn profile, and there are more than 55 million companies who have a LinkedIn profile as well. So that just gives you a pretty good idea of how many people and companies use LinkedIn for any type of job opportunity or professional development purposes. 90% of recruiters use or engage in LinkedIn at some point in time in their recruitment process. And then 6 people are hired every minute on LinkedIn. 40% of the companies on LinkedIn now rely on skills filters to identify their candidates. So very important that you have your LinkedIn profile polished and tailored to the industry that you're interested in, because again, looking at that, a lot of companies are looking at your skills to see to find you. So listing your skills on your LinkedIn profile can help put you in an algorithm for certain companies in that industry for them to potentially reach out to you for a certain opportunity. So here are some of the criteria that is very important for you to make sure is polished and updated on your LinkedIn profile. The first one being the photo, next being your summary, your experience, your education, license and certifications, volunteer experience, skills, recommendations, accomplishments, and your interests. So the first thing, which is the first thing that kind of that someone will see when they go to your profile, is your profile picture. So make sure you take a great photo. Members with a profile photo receive up to 21 times more views and 9 times more connection requests from other people. So if you don't have a profile picture up there, sometimes that may give off the impression that maybe your profile is still under construction or anything like that. So you want to make sure you have one up there. Use a background that isn't distracting. You want to make sure that it's either like a solid color or maybe something like some nature in the back, or if it's like related to your industry, but still not having distracting factors such as like pets or people walking in the background and things like that. Dress for the job that you want. So certain industries, you may have certain attire that you wear in those industries, and you can use that in your profile picture. So for instance, if you are in the healthcare field, some people may wear scrubs, or some people may have on, depending on if they're in the business field, they may have on business attire for their profile picture. So dress for the job that you want. You also want to make sure that you have a nice smile and having a friendly expression. So doesn't mean that you have to show all 32 teeth at all, but you want to make sure you have a nice slight smile. Again, that makes your photo seem more inviting and warm for someone to want to really go and explore the rest of your profile. Make sure your face takes up majority of the frame. So majority of the profile pictures that you will see on LinkedIn, it is just maybe a headshot where it is maybe from this point up, going up, but sometimes you may see it where it is waist up or maybe like shoulder length up. But the main thing is making sure that you have a front facing picture with good lighting, making sure that both of your eyes are seen, and again, a nice smile and things like that. So just showing that. So you may see some profiles that are a little bit different, may not have exactly like just a head shot. It may be, part of their shoulders, part of the chest on up or something like that. So some other elements at the top of your LinkedIn profile that is very important to also help grab attention of whoever may be viewing your profile. So the background photo. The background photo can be something that also helps grab attention. But again, thinking about whatever industry that you may be in, you may use something related to that industry to put as your background photo to show a little bit more about what matters to you. The headline, I think this is one of the most important pieces when it comes to the top of your profile. So your headline can be a brief description about you and your experience. So if you are a student or if you are in a certain field, you want to be able to list that in your headline so that when anyone comes across your profile, they can see exactly, where you're at in your experience. Your about and summary section is basically your LinkedIn's elevator pitch. So don't just use this section to kind of be redundant and kind of go over the job titles and skills that you may have already probably listed or you're going to list on the rest of your profile, but try to bring out why these skills really matter to you and kind of how you can use them to make a difference in the people that you work with. Experience. So this is a big chunk of your LinkedIn profile. So profiles with 2 or more positions are 36 more likely to be found by recruiters. So it's very important that you're making sure that you're listing your different experiences up there. So that can be internships, summer jobs, and part-time jobs as well. Sometimes, students or people in general just may feel like that internships or some jobs, summer jobs or part-time jobs, even if it's a contract job, may not be something relatable to the industry that they're in. But I think it's very important that you list these things because, again, it shows all of the experience and skills that you have and what you've obtained over the years. So just like on your resume, each bullet points should show and describe not only what you did, how you did it, what the results were, and how it impacted your team or company. So again, just like for your resume, the way you express it on your resume, you want to be able to express your bullet points on your LinkedIn profile in the same manner. And don't forget to also list your volunteer experiences. A lot of times volunteer experiences are looked over, but depending on what that volunteer experience was for you, it could be just as equally valuable as a paid work experience. So definitely list those volunteer experiences, especially if they're related to the industry that you're potentially trying to get into. The next thing is your education. So this is the foundation of your career. So 10 times more views on average for members who list their school information. So you want to make sure you list your school, your major and degree, the years you attended, also list any minors or certifications or certificates that you may have, and include organizations that you're involved in and study and any study abroad experience. So even if you are a transfer student and you only attended a certain college for maybe a year or so, you still want to be able to list the different education experiences that you've had up until the current point of where you are now, because it's the foundation of what your career is and the industry that you'll be getting into. So definitely you want to make sure you're not overlooking though, even if it's a transfer school or something like that. But again, putting all of your education up there. Maybe you may not always put your high school experiences up there, but your collegiate experiences, you definitely want to make sure that they are listed on your profile. So the next section is your skills section. So this right here helps raise the ranking in recruiter searches. So again, like I stated before, sometimes companies and recruiters use your skill sets to find candidates that they may be interested in hiring. So if you list 5 or more skills, you'll get up to 17 more times the profile views. The maximum number of skills that you can list is 50. So add skills that are key for someone in your industry, in your role. Reorder the list so that the most important skills are at the top. So top 3 skills are actively visible on your profile. So one thing that you can do, a tip for having your skills like endorsed, you can go to different people who are in your connections or in your industry. And if you know, you can, if you feel that you can endorse some of their skills for them, they may return the favor for you, which is kind of just shows that they're vouching for you that you have this particular skill. And also there are skill assessments online that you can take. And taking these assessments, you can have verified skills that are around 30% more likely to be hired for the roles that you apply for. So definitely take advantage of that if any of that applies to you. But definitely want to make sure that, again, go through your connections for the people who are in the roles that you are interested in, and making sure that you, again, if you know some of them and you can endorse those skills, endorse them. Again, they may return the favor for you, which it helps make you more marketable for whatever position that you're applying for. So here are some of the top employer skills that employers are looking for. I get a lot of students that come to me and ask, what skills should I emphasize on either my resume or my LinkedIn profile? And here are some of the skills that the employers are looking for. So I definitely suggest if you can, take a screenshot, take a picture or something like this, so that way if some of these skills relate to you, and you can put these on your LinkedIn profile, then here's the opportunity to kind of see again which skills are the employers looking for. So you have a few top soft skills, and then you have about 14 hard skills. So think about the skills that are related to the industry that you're potentially trying to get into. So I have a question for some. Again, you can put your answers in the chat, or if you want to, you can say it out loud. Definitely, I'm open to either way. But what are some skills needed for your intended careers that you are in right now that you could possibly start to update on your LinkedIn profile? So again, you guys can put that in the chat. What are some skills that are needed for your career? Leadership. I see leadership. Okay, Excel modeling. I like that. Communication, Excel. Good. Any more? Yep, leadership. All right, I see coding, proactiveness. Good. So yes, I'm glad you guys are I'm glad you are thinking about these skills right now. So if the skills you are thinking about now, think about the ways in which you can obtain those skills. If it's through, seminars, trainings, things like LinkedIn Learning, anything like that, how you can, make sure you obtain these skills, or if you already have them, strengthen those skills. So again, you can have those emphasized on your LinkedIn profile, because the skills section is very important when recruiters are looking for certain candidates. They are, again, remember, 40% of them are using the skills section to find candidates. So it's very important that if you have these skills or you're working on these skills, you want to make sure you're emphasizing this on your LinkedIn profile. Good. All right, move on. So the interest section is also something that you will want to polish or tailor on your LinkedIn as well. The interest section is all the way at the bottom of your LinkedIn profile, and it's often overlooked. Sometimes people don't get all the way to the bottom, but it is the secret to getting the interesting and shareable content in your LinkedIn feed. Interests are composed of schools and companies that you follow within groups that you also join on LinkedIn. So you can join certain groups. You can also, you want to make sure you follow in certain schools if you're interested in the school, or if you attend that school, you want to follow. So if you're not following UNC already, I definitely recommend that you do. Even if you're in a certain program or interested in a certain program, follow those as well. LinkedIn will show your post about topics that are related to your interests. So definitely want to update that. So you can also comment and share these posts. So again, professionals and recruiters will be able to see that on your profile. So it says if you are interested in applying to graduate school, follow the graduate school that you plan to apply to. You can also follow professional organizations. So one of the biggest things up here is to connect and network. So I tell students all the time that 60% of any internship or job search is networking and connecting with people. So on LinkedIn, you can build your network of contacts, including people with whom you connect with on a professional basis and educational basis, or based on a common interest. So send connection invitations to people who you meet one or more of these, who meet one or more of these objectives. And when you message these people within or outside of your network, make sure you keep it professional. So whenever, if you are new to LinkedIn or haven't quite made a profile yet, you'll see where you can search different people who may be, again, if you are into consulting, you may search for consultants in your area. So you can search for consultants, and then you can filter out people, and it'll show you a bunch of different people who are in the consulting field. So you can use that to connect with people. I always suggest that you always connect with people who are not only local to you, but again, even if they are in different states or across the world, and they're still in your industry, still connect with them, because you never know exactly what opportunities or things that they can post that would be beneficial for you. So use that to really build your network up. The more people that you connect with, the more features and things like that LinkedIn would allow you to be able to do. Some people, you may see where you can't send them a connect request because you don't have enough connections or something like that. So making sure that, the people that you can connect with, you're sending out those requests and trying to build your network as much as possible. So one of the most important connections that you could make on LinkedIn is some of the alumni connections. So if you go to University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill's profile on LinkedIn, you can go to the alumni tab and you can search different alumni. So definitely it'll be very essential for you to search alumni who are in your field, or even just alumni period, but closely related to maybe the industry that you are in. So that way you can connect with them. You can use things like informational interviews to learn more about how they got to the place that where they are. So consider setting up informational interviews to learn more about what they do and the companies that they work for. If you're planning to apply for graduate school, you can also network with current graduate students or students who have already graduated from that particular program, so you can understand or get a better understanding of what their experience is like or was like when they was in that program. So here are a few LinkedIn tips. One of the ones is claiming your unique LinkedIn URL. So if you have not already edited your or created your unique LinkedIn URL, you can set up your LinkedIn profile public. You can create it by, you can create it by going to the, I think it's like the account settings, or going to your profile settings, and basically every LinkedIn profile comes with a unique URL, but it'll have your name in it, but it also have a bunch of different characters in it. So you can either edit or change that to make it a little bit more appealing to the eye, as far as like just using your first and last name, and it can still bring people directly to your profile. So if it's possible, try using your first and last name. If that is taken, try your middle initial, or maybe your full middle name. Also, ask for recommendations. It's another important tip on LinkedIn. Recommendations are personal testimonies written to illustrate basically the work people who have worked with you. So there's a drop-down menu. Oops, sorry. So there's a drop-down menu in the recommendations profile that makes it easy to reach out to specific contacts and request recommendations. A good goal is to have a minimum of one recommendation for every role that you list. So again, this is important because it can show that, again, that people are vouching for you, especially depending on what the company may have been or where they're working at now, their status. Again, it may look really good on your profile for them to, have that recommendation already for one of your roles that you have to put on your profile. Here are a few more LinkedIn tips. One of them being that if you ever do any LinkedIn learning, I don't know if anyone is familiar with LinkedIn learning at all, but it is a resource where you can just kind of get like some training or earn certificates that can show up on your LinkedIn profile, which also makes you more marketable for whatever the role is that you're trying to get into. So start to share relevant content on your LinkedIn feed as well. So people who view your profile can see the different things that you comment on, like, share, and things like that. And again, it just kind of shows them what you're interested in and how it aligns with your work as well. So here's tips for job searching on LinkedIn. Check your account settings, make sure that your public profile is visible. So you can edit to see, make it visible to recruiters or to everyone. One of my suggestions is, depending on the field or industry that you're in, is to open it up to everyone to see, because not everyone has a recruiter account or is a recruiter where, it may limit to who can reach out to you as far as sharing an opportunity with you. So that's just a suggestion for me. But if you want strictly just recruiters to contact you, then you can definitely leave it as recruiters. But you do have that option. So when you're searching company profiles, LinkedIn company profiles are a good way to find information on companies in which you have any type of interest. So you'll be able to see that if you have any connections at that company, new hires, promotions, jobs posted, related companies, and company statistics will be visible to you. If you're job searching, you can just adjust your profile settings to let recruiters know that you're open to work. So sometimes maybe we're not in the process of actively searching right now, but when we do get into that process, we sometimes want to let everyone know that, hey, I'm open for work. So there is a feature where you can put a banner around your profile picture that lets everyone know that you're open for opportunities. So you can also have your email address in your contact information so recruiters can reach out to you. So putting your email address on your LinkedIn profile can be beneficial for if a recruiter is very interested in you and your profile. They have your email address to send you a direct contact so that you don't think it's like sometimes with LinkedIn you can get a bunch of like not emails but messages from people that maybe have nothing to do with what it is you're trying to do. So this is another way for recruiters to directly reach you to share an opportunity with you. And definitely suggest using the LinkedIn mobile app. Again, if you only have the website on your desktop or laptop, you may miss out on certain articles, certain opportunities that may be posted because you don't have the app on your phone. And I know that, we're in 2022, a lot of us have our phones always right on us. So I think it's important to have that app, especially when you are in the process of searching for a job or an internship. So I want to show you a LinkedIn profile that is basically up to date. So here's a colleague of mine. Her name is Serena. So this is her profile. And first off, you can see she has a very nice profile picture. Again, front facing, it is from the waist up. But again, it still shows her nice smile and everything like that. You can still see both of her eyes and everything. Also, she has a background photo. Again, that's another way to grab attention. So again, if whatever industry you're in, you may want to put a picture related to that industry in your background photo. Another important thing I want to point out here is her headline. So again, if her profile was to just pop up in a search, again, this is what will show under her name. So she's Assistant Director of Pre-Law and Pre-Graduate Education Advising at the University Career Services for UNC Chapel Hill. So again, that gives any employer or whoever may be viewing her profile basically the information of where this person is and what they do and things like that. So kind of giving what their status is and things that is very relevant to the industry that she's. So the about section, you can see that she has, again, she didn't just talk about the experiences and the skills that she has, but she shows how it's important to her and how she can use that in her work. So again, it gives employers and recruiters more information about exactly what got her to this point and more about how she got to this industry and what is important to her around this industry. So you also have the experience section. So if you see here, again, she has bullet points under her experience section, just like you would a resume, explaining exactly what it is she did, how she did it, what was the result, and the audience for whatever those tasks were. So it's very important that you update this because this gives employers more information about what it is that you have done in these experiences. Then it shows her education when you come down a little bit more. So it shows the degrees that she has, the activities that she was in while she was at these institutions, and she even has the number of internship hours that she has completed. The next section, again, is the license and certification. You see different ones, and some of these, it look like they may have come from LinkedIn Learning. But again, it starts to show on your profile once you take those different trainings. And again, it makes you more marketable for the career that you're in. So employers will be able to see, okay, this person has knowledge or certifications in these certain areas, which is maybe what they're looking for their candidate that they're trying to hire. So volunteering experience as well. You have this, again, it just adds more on to the duties that you've done. So they can be just as valuable as the work experiences that you have completed. And then you also have skills, and you see that she has some of these skills endorsed by people, which again, it vouches for you. It has people vouch for you and just basically prove, hey, this person really does have skill in this. They're not just putting it on their profile. I can vouch for this person to say, hey, they have skill in this. And then you also have some recommendations as well. And people sometimes, employees will come down to this part here and look at your recommendations. And maybe after reading your recommendations, they may not ask for references because they can already see that people have, again, vouched for working with you and how it was like working with you. And we also have some interest, so you can see some of the schools and companies that she's interested in that shows up on her profile, and languages, if there's any languages that you may be fluent in other than the primary, like English, then definitely you want to list those as well. All right, so for your benefit, we at University Career Services do offer virtual 30-minute LinkedIn coaching appointments. So if at any point you need assistance with, emphasizing whatever skills you may have or the experiences that you may have been involved in on your LinkedIn profile, I definitely recommend that you, utilize our services and book an appointment to get your LinkedIn profile tailored and polished to the industry that you are trying to potentially get in. So you can use either the link up here or you can use the QR code. I can leave it up here for a few more seconds to give you guys the opportunity to try to follow that or to take a picture if you need to. But yes, definitely feel free to book that appointment when you see fit, when you're in the process of building your LinkedIn profile, because we are here to assist you with that as well. All right, here's another question for everyone. What is one step that you will take to improve your LinkedIn profile? So after we have already reviewed the necessary criteria that should be on your profile and also looked at a few, looked at one example of a profile, what are some things that you can do for your individual profiles to improve it? Yes, follow UNC and organizations that you are a part of, yes. And taking the skills assessment. Yes, making more connections. I'm telling you, making connections, it puts you in the algorithm even more whenever, just like with TikTok and Instagram and those things, how they have an algorithm. When you look at those, different certain topics of a video and it keeps showing up, LinkedIn is the same way with connections. Yes, signing up for that appointment. I like that. Definitely come check us out. We'll definitely help get your LinkedIn profile looking exactly the way it should. Okay, research what skills are valuable for the career that you're interested in. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So researching that to kind of understand, okay, what skills do I need and what skills do I have? And then you can start thinking about ways to obtain that. Oh, so I'm reading another question. So I have a question. I was talking about, is 578 connections enough to show up on LinkedIn algorithm as well? Yes, that is a lot of connections, and you can still continue to build on more, but continue to build on with different ones that's related to that industry. But yes, that'll definitely help put you in the algorithm as well. So 578, I think that's a lot of connections, but continue to grow those. All right. All right, so at this point, are there any questions? I'll stop sharing to see if I can see any questions, any other questions. So I have a question here. It says, should we include activities on our LinkedIn profile that we were involved in during high school? So with that, just kind of like, depending on what so a couple things vary here. So depending on what your classification may be, like if you're a freshman or maybe even a sophomore right now, maybe some of those things may still probably kind of may show up until you start to get into some other experiences and things, and they start to kind of fall off because you're gaining more experience in other avenues. So just depending on, and again, if it's something like, so say if you're in the healthcare field and you did some activities in school that were healthcare related, like if you were a part of, I don't know if all high schools had this, but like the little allied health programs, that could be very effective and help, again, make you more marketable on your either resume or LinkedIn profile. So that could be something that you do put up there if you see fit. So again, just kind of depends on your classification and again what field you're in. If it's related directly to that field, then maybe putting that high school experience could be helpful. But again, as you start to build more skills and experiences from other activities and opportunities, a lot of your high school stuff will start to just fall off. So. Okay, so I have another question here. In my opinion, is LinkedIn becoming just as important for grad school applications as it is for the job market? And do I think that most admission boards are taking a look at applicant profiles? So for certain programs, yes, that could be very, very much true. Some depending on the criteria to get into these certain grad schools, grad school programs. A lot of them will check your LinkedIn profiles and things like that to, again, a lot of times it's just like with an employer, sometimes they check it to see, okay, does this match the resume that they turned in or the CV that they turned in or something like that. Sometimes they'll go and check that or see exactly what connections you may have, what endorsements you may have. So that could, be a part of their process for admission. So definitely take that into consideration about what programs you may be applying for at that time. And again, just making sure that you're showcasing what needs to be showcased on your LinkedIn profile, just in case they do. So what shouldn't you post on LinkedIn? That's a good question. So LinkedIn, I think, again, as long as it's professionally related, again, this is a professional platform. So, you're making professional connections up here. And again, anybody can go to your profile and view what is on, what comments you have made, what activities and things like that, like if you have reacted to certain things up there. So definitely take that into consideration. Definitely use it for the professional purposes only, making sure that you're posting anything that's related to your industry or something like that. Sometimes you may see other things up there and that's just people's preference, but I especially think that when you are in the process of trying to search for a job or you're in a certain industry, that again, just keeping it professional up there. There are other social media platforms where you can be more personal if that's, comments that, or things like that that you would like to share or post up there. But, I think again, for LinkedIn purposes, keeping it professional is definitely where you would like to limit your post anyway. See, should we also include awards from those related activities? Yes, include those awards if you have them. Again, that could just make you more marketable in that area. So if it's an award where you're the only recipient that got this particular award, again, that makes you more marketable because it shows your drive and your interest for this particular industry or field. So LinkedIn link or resume PDF, which is better to submit when you're applying for an internship. So when you're applying, depending on what the application process may look like, if it's an application that's saying, submit a resume, you definitely want to submit a resume. But that's why I think it's always important to, again, it's not a requirement that you do this, but it's important to put your LinkedIn URL on your resume, just in case. So if you do submit an application and the recruiter or the employer does review your application on your resume, they can go directly to that your profile by clicking on the URL. So I think it's important that you put it on your URL, on your resume. Again, if the application or the internship is asking for a resume, definitely submit the resume itself. But include your LinkedIn and URLs just in case they want to take a look at your profile, kind of put a face to name or something. So I see a question saying, if we have not been admitted into a specific school at UNC yet, should we list what we are intending to major in and minor in? Yes, you can do that. If you are saying, in your headline, in that headline part, or even if you put it in your about section, just letting them know, interested in XYZ, or planning to pursue XYZ career or something like that. You can you can make that known. Again, you want to have in your headline or that about section something about you that, again, it grabs the recruiter or the employer or the school's attention around you to see, okay, this is what this student is into right now. Maybe they haven't quite got there yet, but this is their interest. This is their focus right now. So I think that is I think it is okay for you to definitely list that either in your headline or your about section. That was a good question. Any other questions? And also there is a link in the chat as well, where you can give feedback for our workshops. It's a survey that you can take, very short survey, but definitely suggest or recommend you guys giving us some feedback on our workshops to let us know how we can, or how we're doing, any things that you may be thinking of that we can use to improve our workshops, or anything that you may want to see moving forward. So definitely give us some feedback on whenever you get the chance or opportunity to. Any other questions? All right, so if there's no more questions, I'll let you guys go. Thank you again for your time. I hope this presentation or workshop was very helpful for you. Again, utilize University Career Services. We are here to help you with LinkedIn profiles and so much more. So definitely take a look at our website or our page, and utilize the services as you see fit. And again, thank you guys for joining. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.